What's going on, guys? It's me, Martin, back with devlog number 2. First things first, we got a brand new microphone, a TC777 USB microphone. It usually retails for around $50, but we picked this up at an auction for about $10. Ka-ching! When it comes to microphones, we had two options. Either we get a dynamic microphone, which is the type that gives you that deep, velvety radio voice, because it only picks up sound in a very small radius or range. There's a special term for it, I forget what it is, but that's why you see singers and all these radio hosts always holding the microphone directly in front of their mouth, like they're about to eat it. And because the pickup radius is so small, you also get very little background noise. But those microphones are very expensive. You gotta buy the microphone itself, a special cable, an amplifier, and in general, when you start getting into audio quality, zeros start appearing behind the price really quickly. So we went for a USB condenser microphone. It's plug and pray, it's simple, I like simple, I don't like complicated. It picks up background noise a little bit, but software filters do a pretty good job of removing that. It has a pop filter, stand, and in general, you're getting a lot for your money with the TC777. So I hope that this takes our video quality up a notch, and I'll be looking forward to seeing what you have to say about it in the comments. Anyway, on to the office. We painted the walls. Alex chose this grayish beige color instead of pure white. I think that it looks pretty good, and we also decided to put some drywall over the exposed bricks, and we're also going to paint that in the same color as the walls. We've also laid some tiles in the back room because the concrete was very uneven, and now we're waiting for that wood pattern linoleum to arrive, which we'll lay on top of them. Somebody asked, what country is the office in? The office is located in Spain. That's where our studio is located, and that's where the office is located. And speaking of Spain, this brings us to Royal Decree number 486/1997. Let me translate this into English for you guys so I can explain what this is. So what this is a law that was first passed in 1997 and later updated in 2004, which states what you must do and have at the workplace if you want to be able to employ people there. I know that a lot of younger people seem to think that opening a business is as easy as paying the fee to register your LLC company, and then all you do from there is you just post pictures of yourself in your new Lambo all over social media. But I'm sorry to pop your bubble, that's not how it works in real life at all whatsoever. If we go back to this photo of the office, we'll notice this large step here, and then if we zoom in, we see this tiny little handrail here. And you might be wondering, well, why is that there? Well, let me show you. Let's go back to the law here and scroll down to 3C, I think it is, 3.2C, 3C. The open sides of the stairs and ramps of more than 60 centimeters in height. The closed sides will have a handrail at a minimum height of 90 centimeters. If the width of the stairs is greater than 1.2 meters, if it is smaller but both sides are closed, at least one of the two will have handrails. Well, let's go back to the picture. One of the sides is closed, the step is wider than 1.2 meters, and hence the handrail. And this law also talks about these lights, which will show you the way out in case there's a fire, about fire extinguishers, lighting, even the temperature in the office, and stuff like that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through that law and make sure that we're complying with everything. So let's talk about the game a little bit. I'm going to show you a brand new function that we've just added, which adds like 3D sounds of creaks and groans inside of buildings to add a little bit of atmosphere. I really want to show you guys this because we haven't really discussed sounds all that much. And by the way, please excuse these yellow lines here and the grass and the landscape. This is a test project. Before you add any function into the main project, you first want to build that function in a copy of the project, in a test project. So if anything goes wrong, you didn't mess up the main project. Now, some people say, well, why didn't you copy it into the main project before you showed us? Well, this is a devlog. We show it to you how it is. So anyway, let me open up the blueprint of this building. Switch to the viewport and maximize that. You'll see there's a big box around this building. This big box is a trigger. When a player enters into this area, they're going to trigger a function which is going to randomly play sounds at three preset locations, which are right here. Why can't I see the icon? There we go. There's location number 1, location number 2, and location number 3. So when the player is here, one of these locations is randomly gonna play. And I've also added these spheres to them. Hold on, let me make them visible. I've added these spheres to these locations so we can see where the sound is playing from in game. So here we are in game. Let's fly into the corner here and have a listen. And also keep an eye out for those blue spheres so we can tell where the sound is coming from. Shh, be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. Oh, there we go. By the way, you're not going to be able to see these spheres in game. This is just for debugging so you can see, so I can show you where the sound is coming from in this demo. All these sounds happen at random times. I think there's an interval of like 10 to 30 seconds. And if we fly around the warehouse, we'll hear that the sounds are coming from behind us or to the left of us, to the right of us. All the sounds are fully 3D positional. And again, don't mind the yellow lines on the screen, this is just a test project. So you might say, this is all very simple. And you're right, it is very simple. Why make things complicated if they don't have to be complicated? You know, that's where a lot of programmers go wrong. They'll find like the most difficult, complex way of programming something, writing all these functions and stuff. And it's like, wow, you could have achieved the same results with default functions with like a couple of lines of code. What I want to show you guys next is the main menu. We've kind of revamped the scene a little bit. All the objects have been improved. If you remember last year, we worked on improving all the objects and stuff. And I think that it looks so much better. But what I really want to show you guys are some Easter eggs that we've hidden in the main menu. So let's click play and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now notice it's dark outside, it's dark inside. The table lamp is on. Now check out what happens when I change the time, which is currently set to 3 AM by the way. If you're wondering why I'm recording all these videos so late at night, well, it's because I live next to a main road and there's all kinds of traffic out in the daytime, and you'd be able to hear that in the videos. So I have to wait for nighttime when there's no traffic. Let me set that to daytime, something like, I don't know, 12 o'clock. And check this out, it's daytime now. The time in the main menu is affected by your PC time. And now if I change it back to nighttime again, it'll be dark. And the table lamp will turn itself back on. Let's give that a second. There we go. Let me change that back into daytime. And check this out, we now have a German Shepherd in the main menu too. And now let me show you the second Easter egg. Let me change the date to December the 24th. Pretty cool, huh? Let me change the time to nighttime so we can see this Christmas tree better. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Anyway, enough of that. Easter is around the corner. What am I doing singing Christmas carols? We've also begun drawing some concept art for Branibor City, which wasn't supposed to be included in the early access, but since we're running late with the programming, it'll probably end up being included anyway. This is Labor Square, with a big statue of Lenin, and some apartment blocks with some motivational communist slogans on the roofs. And this is Scientist Tower, where Soviet scientists live, or used to live. This is actually based on a building in London of all places, I drove past it once and I was like, I've got to model this at some point. That point ended up being like 15 years later, but here we are. We'll be doing more of these, and also a concept of Mayor George's mansion. We'll be taking a look at Sector B in the next vlog, by the way. Now there's one more thing that I want to show you guys, and that's Oceanology 5, which is an ocean plugin for Unreal Engine. We purchased this plugin on the marketplace, and it allows us to have this nice ocean in game. We kind of saw this in the bridge video, but we're going to have a closer look at it today. So let me show you the shoreline. We get this nice foam here. And then when I fly further out into the ocean, we get these nice big waves. And just going back to the sounds, you'll notice that we have these sounds of the waves hitting the shoreline here. And as I move further away from the shoreline, you'll notice that the sounds get quieter and quieter, until we can't hear them anymore. And then when I fly back, they'll get louder and louder again. Now there is actually a bug in this ocean, and if you look in the top right corner at the shoreline, you'll notice that when I zoom in and out, there's this kind of clippings. See that? The shoreline kind of disappears and reappears. I'm not sure what's causing that. I'm gonna have to talk to the devs of Oceanology, see if we can get that fixed or not, but that might be something that we're gonna have to live with in the early access until the devs fix that bug. If it is a bug, I don't know, we'll have to see. By the way, somebody in our Discord said that we render our screenshots. That's not true. Look, this is how we make screenshots. We place the camera like right here, and then we press the print screen button. And that's all that there is to it. Join our Discord, by the way, you'll find the link in the description box below. Now, this plugin does support buoyancy, meaning that objects can realistically float on the surface of the water like this pirate ship that I'm sailing in right now. But there is a problem with that, because this is a multiplayer game, and if you want to have smooth buoyancy, you have to synchronize a lot of different coordinates for the ship to all the other players on the server. Whoop, let me just turn right here so I don't crash into the bridge pillar like the Titanic. There we go. So as I was saying, you need to synchronize a lot of different positions per second to all the other players on the server if you want to get a smooth effect. And I don't think that multiplayer games are quite ready for that just yet. So I don't think that we're going to make use of this in Taviana the Origins. I think we'll just have the ships just sail on the ocean, but they're not going to move up and down and left and right and have this realistic buoyancy. Let me show you what I mean. I'm playing in multiplayer right now, and as you can see, the ship still has buoyancy. It is kind of moving left to right, up and down, but it's jagged, it's not smooth. And that's because we're not receiving a consistent amount of coordinate updates. And that's because, as I said, we don't want to overload the server and the clients with a spam of coordinates. So we've had to reduce the number of coordinates that are sent every second, and that results in this kind of jagged movement. So again, I don't know, we're going to have to test this with the patrons when we begin testing the game to see if we can use the buoyancy or not, but most likely we're not going to be able to use it because it just wouldn't look good, as you can see right here. Anyway guys, I think that's enough for this video. If you like this video, drop us a thumbs up, click the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos, and if you like what we're doing, please consider supporting the project on patreon.com/TavianaTheOrigins, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.